Welcome everyone, join us today as we reflect on the life and enduring legacy of Alan Barton, the talented singer and guitarist of Black Lace, and best known for fronting Smokie during their later years. So let's dive in. Alan Leslie Barton, born the 16th of September 1953, in Barnsley, Yorkshire, England. Alan Barton, a gifted singer and performer whose music brought joy to audiences across the UK, Europe and beyond, first stepped into the spotlight in 1973 when he co-founded the pop group Black Lace alongside Colin Routh, Steve Scolley and Terry Dalton. In their early days, the band worked hard on the pub and club circuit, refining their sound and stage presence. By late spring 1976, now a professional act under manager Keith Mills, Black Lace embarked on a UK-wide tour and began their first summer season at the Skegness Central Pier Beer. The following year took them to Butlins in Filey and back to Skegness. Around this time, they recorded an EP produced by comedian Freddie Parrotface Davies, which was sold at their shows. The group gained momentum, being voted Yorkshire Band of the Year by BBC Radio Leeds and named Best Clubland Group at the Winter Gardens in Blackpool. In 1979, Black Lace recorded their debut single Mary Ann for ATV Music, soon securing a deal with EMI. The track required a stronger vocal style, and Alan stepped in as the lead vocalist for their recordings, with Steve Scolley handling backing vocals and continuing as frontman for live gigs. That same year, Mary Ann won BBC Television's A Song for Europe, earning the band the honour of representing the UK at the Eurovision Song Contest in Israel, where they placed 7th. Their growing visibility brought television appearances on Nationwide, Top of the Pops, Multicoloured Swap Shop, and Jukebox Jury. While Mary Ann peaked at number 42 on the UK singles chart, it helped Black Lace gain traction with European audiences. Their follow-up single So Long Susie Baby failed to chart in the UK, partly due to delays from EMI, but saw success overseas. The group's reputation continued to build through live appearances and international TV spots, including the Sopot International Song Festival in Poland, the Golden Orpheus Festival in Bulgaria, and performances across East and West Germany and Spain. In 1980, Black Lace toured Denmark supporting Susie Quatro and collaborated with Danish entertainer Tommy Seebach, recording Hey Hey Jock McRae for the Danish market. However, a planned tour of Poland was cancelled due to political unrest. In 1981, Black Lace split. Alan Dobson joined Castleford rock band Stormer, while Steve Scolley departed as the group faced mounting tour debts. The band was restructured into a duo, Alan Barton and Colin Routh, which would ultimately deliver their biggest success. Performing as a duo on the Northern Club circuit using pre-recorded backing tracks, a controversial move at the time, they initially called themselves Lace, before reverting to Black Lace. With new manager John Wagstaff, they released Birds Dance, an instrumental based on the Chicken Dance, under the name Busby. However, it was overshadowed by the Tweets chart-topping version, the Birdie Song. Black Lace's breakthrough came in 1983 with Superman, their first single under their own name on the Flair label. A promotional video was filmed at Casanova's nightclub in Wakefield and featured a then unknown Jane McDonald. The track reached number 9 on the UK charts and earned a silver disc. Though the follow-up, Hey You, was Radio 1's Record of the Week, it failed to chart. The duo then toured Denmark with Laban and Snapshots. Their biggest hit came in 1984 with the novelty smash, Agadoo, which sold over 1 million copies worldwide and reached number 2 in the UK. It also charted in Europe, South Africa, and Australia. They recorded their debut album Black Lace in Denmark, but their distributor, Pinnacle, went into receivership, causing the loss of roughly £250,000 in unpaid royalties for Agadoo. Next came Do the Conga, which hit number 10 in the UK and helped their album Party Party 16 Great Party Icebreakers go double platinum, selling over 650,000 copies in 5 weeks. The success led to TV appearances across Europe. Their 1985 single, El Vino Collapso, stalled at number 42 after the BBC deemed it inappropriate following the Heysel Stadium disaster. Later singles, I Speak a Darlingo, and Hokey Cokey, charted modestly at number 49 and number 31, respectively. That year, they also took part in the charity single, You'll Never Walk Alone, as part of the crowd, alongside major UK acts, to support victims of the Bradford City Stadium fire. Their second album Party Party 2 was released for Christmas 1985, and they made numerous television appearances including Top of the Pops, The Old Grey Whistle Test, and Pebble Mill at 1. At the height of their fame, they even chartered private flights to meet tight touring schedules, but the success came with a hefty tax bill of over £100,000. In 1986, Routh stepped away from the group following legal issues and was replaced by Dean Michael Betteridge. That same year, Wig Wham Bam reached number 63, while Viva la Mexico, released to tie in with the FIFA World Cup, flopped after England's early exit. Alan and Dean Michael appeared as themselves in the 1987 film Rita Sue and Bob 2, performing Gang Bang, a track Alan had recorded with Routh. Their pop culture presence continued with parodies on Spitting Image, including a nod in the hit song, The Chicken Song. Their album Party Crazy would become another UK chart success. In September 1987, Black Lace saw a lineup reshuffle as Colin Routh returned full-time to the group, now performing under the name Colin Gibb. Around the same time, Smokie's lead singer Chris Norman left to pursue a solo career. Looking to fill the vacancy, Chris suggested a talented friend he rated highly, Alan Barton. Initially, Smokie's remaining members, including Terry Utley, were unsure. Alan's musical background with Black Lace seemed a world away from Smokie's soft rock style, and they turned the offer down. However, a few weeks later, fate intervened. At a casual gathering at Terry's home, Alan happened to be there, as was Chris Norman. The two began singing together, and the chemistry was immediate. Hearing Alan duet with Chris changed everything. Terry and the rest of the band were convinced Alan was the perfect fit. He was offered the lead singer role on the spot. Because both Black Lace and Smokie were managed by the same company, Alan initially juggled both commitments before transitioning fully to Smokie later in 1987. By this time, Smokie's fortunes had faded since their 1970s heyday under producers Nicky Chin and Mike Chapman at Mickey Most's Rack Records. Known for crafting hits like If You Think You Know How to Love Me, Lay Back in the Arms of Someone, and their global smash, Living Next Door to Alice, the group had originally been called Smokie, with an EY at the end, until legal pressure from Motown legend Smokey Robinson prompted the name change to Smokie with an IE. Although Living Next Door to Alice became a huge international success in 1977, followed by a solid US chart run with Needles and Pins, the rise of punk rock in the UK sidelined the band's mainstream appeal. They shifted focus to European markets, where their popularity endured. With Alan now fronting the band, Smokie found renewed success. Alongside original members Terry Utley on bass, Alan Silson on lead guitar, Martin Bullitt on keyboards and Steve Pinnell on drums, they toured extensively and charted across Norway, Ireland, Germany, and Australia. Their first album with Alan, All Fired Up in 1988, included a reworked version of Chris Norman's solo track, Rock Away Your Teardrops, and helped reintroduce the band to a broader audience. This comeback was followed by a string of successful albums, including Boulevard of Broken Dreams in 1989, which spent 7 weeks at number 1 in Norway. Whose Are These Boots in 1990, which also reached number 1 in Norway. Chasing Shadows in 1992. Celebration in 1994, a compilation of classic hits reimagined with orchestral backing. Although these albums didn't chart in the UK, Smokie's European fanbase remained loyal. Then, in 1995, the band unexpectedly returned to the UK singles chart with a reworked novelty version of Living Next Door to Alice, featuring comedian Roy Chubby Brown, which soared to number 3, introducing Smokie to a new generation. Alan's powerful voice was especially prominent on Celebration, which went on to sell over 100,000 copies in both Denmark and Germany. According to their manager John Wagstaff, Alan had by then become not only a respected frontman but was widely seen as an even stronger performer and showman than his predecessor, Chris Norman. Alan's ambition, determination, and creativity were the driving forces behind Smokie's continued success well beyond their 1970s heyday. During his time with the band, Smokie released 13 charting albums across the globe. In the early 1990s, Alan also pursued a solo project, releasing his only solo album Precious in 1991, along with the singles, July 69 in 1990, and Carry Your Heart, a duet with Christine Pedersen, in 1991. Tragedy struck on March 19, 1995, when a minibus carrying members of Smokie, Alan Barton, Alan Silson, and Terry Utley, crashed en route to Dusseldorf Airport following a concert. During a sudden hailstorm near Cologne, the vehicle veered off the road and plunged into a ravine. Despite wearing a seatbelt, Alan suffered severe injuries, including critical head trauma. Silson sustained a broken nose, while Utley required stitches to his face. Alan remained in a coma for days as doctors fought to save his life. Sadly, on the 23rd of March 1995, aged 41, Alan Barton passed away from his injuries, with his wife Jackie by his bedside. He left behind 2 sons, Dean and Lee, and another child from a previous marriage. Alan was laid to rest at Liversedge Cemetery in West Yorkshire. In the years following his death, Alan's son, Dean Alan Barton, a gifted vocalist and songwriter in his own right, set out to honor his father's legacy. Dean, whose vocals carry the same raw soulful quality as Alan's, joined forces with musicians Andy Whelan and Graham Kearns to complete the second solo album Alan had been working on before his passing. In 2008, they held the first tribute concert in his memory. From this, Spirit of Smokie was born, a band dedicated to keeping Alan's spirit and music alive. Now recognized as a world-class rock act, Spirit of Smokie continues to tour internationally, performing beloved Smokie hits like Living Next Door to Alice, If You Think You Know How to Love Me, Needles and Pins, and Oh Carol, alongside their own original material. The band remains active, with upcoming live dates still being announced. And there you have it. Though Alan Barton is no longer with us, his voice, passion, and spirit live on through the music he gave to the world. From his days with Black Lace to fronting Smokie, Alan left an unforgettable mark on pop and rock history. His legacy continues through his son Dean and the Spirit of Smokie, ensuring his songs, and his memory, will never fade. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos just like this. Take care and bye for now.